Okay, so to review, we've got our Ghost Killer game. We've got 5 sprites on the screen. They appear at random places. They move around. And when we click the sprite, we've got the score. It goes up by 10, and the sprite basically hides itself. So that's kind of where we're at. Now, you probably realize that creating the sprites, okay, we can copy them and copy them and copy them. But what if you wanted to do 20 of them or 30 of them? It just gets tedious and time consuming. Plus, then every time you want to make a minor change, you have to go back, you have to delete 29 of them, and then you only have one, then you got to duplicate them. It just becomes kind of a pain. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use something called a clone. So we're going to clone our sprite. Now, clone, if you're not familiar with the word, is basically a copy. Okay, so I'm going to delete the extra sprites here. Delete it. So what I can do is I'm going to go to my stage, and when the green flag is clicked, I'm going to create clones. I'm going to create 10 clones. And if I go to, I think it's under here. Sorry, it's at the bottom. So create clone of sprite 1. So we got sprite 1 here. So when I click the green flag, I want to set the score to 0, and 10 clones of sprite 1 are going to be created. So let's try that. So notice I still have this one, so I should have this one plus 10 more. Ready, set, go. Dun dun dun. Okay, that wasn't quite what we had in mind. Okay, so you can see the clones are there, but they were all created basically at the same spot. Okay, so something's not quite right. What happens if I click it? Okay, that does work. Okay, that does work. Interesting. Okay, so I gotta kind of figure out what's going on here. Okay, so the answer is basically when we click the green flag is what starts this process here. So the sprite shows itself, it goes to a random place, and then this forever loop begins. Okay, I guess it goes that way. The forever loop begins. However, when we click the green flag, you got to ask yourself, the clones weren't there yet. Okay, so the clones never saw this symbol, or they never got that message that the green flag was clicked because they weren't created yet. They were created afterwards. So what we got to do is we have to use this special event called, where's that? Oops, where is it? Control sensing. It's control when I start as a clone. Okay, so when this sprite starts as a clone, we want to do all this stuff also. So it's twice. So if I can just pull that away, I right click and I duplicate it. Duplicate means make a copy. Okay, so boom. Oops. I'll put that back. Okay, so I've got my original sprite. Now, when I start as a clone, it's going to do this also. Okay, so let's hit our flag again. There's our 10. Notice everything works just as it did. Oops. Okay. Oops. And you can notice what's nice about this is now I just have one set of code to create. I don't have to create a sprite, duplicate it, and all that sort of thing. I can just do everything on this one screen. So now if I want to make a change, let's say to my clones, let's say I want my clones to move, instead of 10 steps, I could say, why don't I try making it a random thing? So, so let's say they're going to move from 5 to 10 steps. They're going to turn, let's try a random turn. I'll go 5 to 20 degrees. Okay, so let's try that again. It's a little hard to tell there. Let's change this 0.05 and run that. Okay. So you see they're running at slightly different speeds now. Trying to make it a little bit faster. And it's just one of the things. That's one of the great things about Scratch. You can just experiment with it, try things out. Let's maybe make it up to a 45-degree turn. Okay, now there you can really see that they're kind of moving a bit differently. Okay, and you just notice everything works. So I don't have to. So I can still experiment and get the things that I need, and get to change things without having a lot of trouble with it. And I think we'll just stop at that one for now.